Hi everyone. Today in this video we are going to see what is Spring Cloud Config Server in microservices architecture. As we all know that in real practice we are dealing with multiple microservices and each one is having its own configuration files. Like each microservice contains its application.yaml file, which is a default file which contains the global configuration, and there are some other configuration files which are specific to the microservices as well as environment specific configuration files as well. So all these configuration files adding in each and every microservice is not a feasible approach. So what is the feasible approach? Like we need some place wherein we can put all these configuration stuff, and on need basis when the client requires we can send back to the respective client microservices. Now what is this place? This place, it can be a version control system or file system, but most probably it's a version control. It is a Git repository wherein we can place all this configuration stuff. And now we at one side we have all the client microservices, and on the other side we have Git repo. Now we need one more service which can sit in between these two, and this service we can call it as a config server. And this config server, to act as a Spring Cloud config server, we need to use this annotation like enable config server. With this it will be act as an Spring Cloud config server. What it will do, it will connect to the Git repo and fetch the configuration details which are required by the client microservice. Now on startup, all these client microservices will request to the config server, and config server will fetch the respective details from the Git repository and send back to the client microservices over HTTP protocol. This is how Spring Cloud config server works. So let us understand what is Spring Cloud config server. So it is a service that provides centralized external configuration management for all the distributed applications running in different environments. It also allows application to retrieve their configuration settings from a shared source like Git at runtime, and making it easier to manage configurations across multiple microservices and environments like dev, test and prod. Finally, let us see what are the benefits of using config server. First is the centralized config, like it manages centralized storage for all configs in one Git repo or file system. Environment specific configs, like it isolates environment with profiles with separate configs for each environment like dev, test, prod. Git version control, like it works with the version controls like Git, SVN, Vault and flexible backends as well. Next is a real-time updates, like we can achieve dynamic refresh by updating config without restarting services with the help of Spring Actuator and Spring Cloud Bus. Support for secret management, like it secures configs by storing encrypted secrets via Vault or other mechanism. I hope you must have enjoyed this. Please do not forget to like, subscribe and share, and thank you so much for watching this.